Hello, my beautiful friends. I'm here to do the oracle reading. I just got these new decks and I want to use them with my besties. So I'll explain what the decks are. I think I'm going to start with this one. Don't be afraid. Light in the darkness. I'm going to get this after, and I'm going to read one of those archetypes to you guys that I haven't read yet. And I found one that I want to read, so it'll be interesting to see if it aligns with the cards that come out. So light in the darkness. I've already put the boxes somewhere. So this is about embracing your light and shadow. Again, your light lives in your shadows. Healing your shadows, being comfortable with them is where you find it. And then I got Sisterhood of the Seers. Some of you may be divine feminines. And this one is Spirit is always guiding us towards love, and this deck is a reflection of that love mirrored back by the Sisterhood of Seers, a collective of energy that offers a map to wholeness and well-being. So, I'm interested in this one. Maybe you have freckles. So we're gonna start with this one. It feels like this one might be a little bit more intense. I'm picking up an anxiety. It's okay. It's all right. You know, I'm still finding my way on the healing journey. And it can bring anxiety. I'm feeling a lot of anxiety. Are you okay? Increased heartbeat. Oh, look, my big hands are coming in handy again. All right, so what do we need to hear? What does this collective need to hear? Again, I wanted to come show this deck to you. Cut to the truth. All right. So sometimes when we're wounded, when we're acting from these shadows, these wounded archetypes, we're acting from whatever age we were as a child when we developed them. And sometimes we can't always see the truth because of our own shadows, because of our conditioning. Speak your truth. That is interesting. All right. What drags you down? What's keeping you down? We talked about that yesterday with the chains, the baggage. It just weighs you down. How can we fly? How can we phoenix if we're weighed down by gunk? Oh, now I know what I was going to say. This morning, I was talking to somebody about the never-ending story and the swamp of sadness, and how I can never watch that scene. I find it sad. And I remember when I got my kids to watch it, they were in tears. Emotional damage. But to me, that's really symbolic of how when we heal, we have to grow through the mud to become that lotus. And it's really symbolic to me of how when you live in your shadows, they can consume you. They can swallow you whole. So anyway, if you want, oh, I'm seeing the scene where he's like, come on, get out of the mud. That's me. I'm here to pull you out of the mud. What is that? The power of silence. That's right. Sometimes if we are someone who feels like we need to over-explain or send repetitive messages to tell someone of our worth or beg them to love us, sometimes silence is more powerful, right? All right, let's see what's happening here. What do we need to shed light on? Give yourself grace. Oh, look, the blue butterflies. That's so symbolic. I always use the blue butterflies. Okay. I always use the blue butterflies. I used to use them. That's the only emoji I would use on my soul tribe readings. And let's be honest, these have basically become soul tribe readings. So, and I really enjoy doing them. I completely lose sense of time. So transformation, blue butterflies could be symbolic. What matters most? All right, so I want to shuffle a card out for you. We're going to start with this deck and see what comes out. You know what? Just you don't just go through one transformation. Intuitive reader. I'm seeing all of these butterflies as all the transformations, all the wounds that you heal. And you need to give yourself grace on your healing journey. 19, the sun, healing. You know, healing is a messy up and down type of journey, but it's so rewarding. And you need to give yourself grace if sometimes you stumble or you can't find your way. I had a realization yesterday about that reading I did. That's what I mean, these archetypes. I'm constantly having realizations of, oh, that's why I do that. So I don't know if you guys noticed, but I continuously read. I'm just going to be honest with you instead of pretending that it's not happening, because this is how, to me, this is how we process these wounds or these shadows, to journal about them, to speak them out loud. So I'm just going to be honest about something I'm struggling with. Yesterday, was it the invisible child? I had a realization during my meditation this morning that yesterday that invisible child was being activated in me more than I realized, because at first I know that I mentioned, but I don't want to make this about me. Let's make this about you. Invisible child. I thought of something else though. I've been reading from a book that I've been writing. So this book, and I haven't really mentioned it in great detail because of the invisible child shadow activation. So I have this fear that I'm going to sound like I'm selling myself or something, which I know that's not who I am. My mission has always been, if I can just help one person, that's all that matters to me. And I was starting to learn about these archetypes, and I thought, this is fascinating. Like, this could help so many of the people I read for, especially in love readings or on the healing journey. And, anyway, I just got a weird email, not in English. I don't know how I'm supposed to, I guess I could use Google Translate. Anyway. I can hear my son making noise downstairs. It's okay. So I have this fear of sounding like I'm going to sell myself. So I've been reading. No, I skipped ahead. Look, see, right now I'm making mistakes. I could just hit stop and start recording again, but I'm not going to, because it's okay to be imperfect. Give yourself grace. Nobody's perfect. Show me a perfect person. There isn't one. Show me. I always say that. Show me one. There's not. So I started learning about these archetypes, and it was just like, it was mind-blowing to me. Specifically the child archetypes. So what ages they're formed, generational imprinting, what ages they're formed, the attachment archetypes, the identity archetypes, and then the archetypes where you start to reclaim your power and start to heal, and then the integrated archetypes when you step into your adult self, or you're integrating into your adult self. And it was so fascinating to me, and I thought so many people could, like, this would give so many people clarity. So it started out that I was just researching them and making myself like a guide. It started off as 20 pages. And it was just going to be a guide, and I wanted my partner to print it off so that I could use it on my channel to talk to you guys about it. And then it just kept going, and I entered like a flow state, and I ended up writing a book, which is just, again, I can feel my invisible child activating right now, that who do you think you are to write a book? And I feel very shy about it. So I've been reading from it, but I haven't been telling anyone I'm reading from my book because I didn't want to sound like I was selling myself. I didn't even plan to write a book. It just happened. So I've been reading from it, and I keep getting comments. What are you reading from? What are you reading from? What are you reading from? And yesterday when I mentioned it, I was like, oh yeah, I'm getting a book published. And then I just moved on because, again, I can feel that invisible child activation where I downplay, like I want to downplay my achievements, or I need to reflect on that. Anyway, I just wanted to mention it to you because I'm explaining what healing looks like. It's messy. So anyway, we don't just transform once. We're constantly transforming and changing. And it is important that we give ourselves grace on this healing journey because it's an up and down journey. And there's no shame in it. All right. Fighting the guilt, fighting the guilt. So let's get you a message. Light in the darkness. What do we need to shine a light on? Ask what is meant. Laugh in the face of adversity. I just saw Simba. Danger, I laugh in the face of danger. Ha ha ha. So laugh in the face of adversity. All right, ask what is meant. Is that Capricorn energy? 21, world energy, patterns, ending cycles. So 21. Okay, listen, I stopped on give yourself grace. Start treating yourself with the respect and kindness you grant everyone else, and forgiving yourself for the small things you tolerate without question in others. Be proactive in moving through the stress and overwhelm that darkness can bring, and cut yourself some slack, refusing to sweat the small stuff any longer. Being let down by someone you trust or having to turn the other cheek at work can be hard to deal with, but unless it's a regular occurrence, most people forgive mistakes and move on. But do you find it impossible to forgive yourself for the same crimes? If you're berating yourself for doing or not doing something, consider how you'd react if a friend or loved one had done the same. So, like, for example, if you feel an activation and you act from a triggered place, give yourself grace. Would you be angry and vengeful, or forgive them without question? It's time to be as kind and forgiving to yourself as you are to others. Stop punishing yourself for being your harshest critic. It's not fair, and it's also not helpful. Berating yourself for procrastinating won't inspire you to work harder. Spirit, stop it. I've been struggling with procrastination. It'll just get you into a spiral of frustration, depression, and more procrastination. Instead of pouring on the self-loathing, lighten up on yourself. You don't have to be productive every day. If you're feeling stuck or uninspired, take a break, replenish your well. Do something that nourishes your soul and fills your heart with joy. Your passion and desire will return, but in the meantime, give yourself the grace you offer everyone else. So, I feel like Spirit's calling me out a little. Do something that nourishes your soul. That's exactly why I'm sitting here. Interesting. This isn't an excuse to continue slacking off or behaving badly, or free rein to forgive yourself for something but not make amends to the person you upset. You still need to take responsibility for your actions and examine the situation objectively, working out if there's a way you could improve things and doing it, if so, or whether it's your attitude to yourself you need to adjust. I need an attitude adjustment towards myself, I mean. No, I'm working on it. I'm being too hard on myself right in this moment. If you're stuck in overwhelm and burning out, pause, take a breath, and change this situation. Spirit, stop it. Accept your limitations with patience and understanding. You don't have to do everything for everyone, so decide what's most important. Then let go of the things that don't matter, so that you can take care of the things that do. Accept when you need to say no to things and learn how to do it. Renegotiate and change your circumstances when you must. Success is not about getting everything on your to-do list done, but having the discernment to work out what is necessary versus what you can cross off and leave undone. It's like spirit is like shining a light on me right now. You know what I'm seeing? In the not the never ending story, The Nightmare Before Christmas, when they unstitch Mr. Oogie Boogie and the bugs are like, my bugs, my bugs. That's kind of what I feel like right now. I forgive myself as I forgive others. I release self-judgment and self-criticism. I embrace acceptance and self-compassion. I aim for progress, not perfection. I am enough. Oh my gosh, I feel like I'm on fire. Spirit calling me out. Maybe you resonate with that, right? We were talking about not being able to rest. So, ask what is meant. This is also a good one because a lot of the time when we have these wounds that are activated, we kind of assume we know what someone else is thinking, or we assume that someone else thinks of us the way that we're thinking of ourselves, or we imagine the worst. When you are unsure about something, avoid assumptions and request clarity around meaning and motives. Determine whether someone is acting in response to you or as a result of their own issues. Not everything is about you, and not all burdens are yours to carry. This happens with empaths a lot, even these archetypes that I talk about where we take on the emotional responsibility of others. Would you rather believe a lie because it made you feel better, or discover the truth even if it hurts? Do you find yourself assuming the worst about someone's actions, taking them as a personal slight when they may have nothing to do with you? People aren't mind readers. You need to tell them how you're feeling and what you want and what you expect of them. Equally, you must ask for clarity when you don't understand what someone is saying or you're confused about their actions and the meaning behind them. Most things people do are not related to anyone else, so don't automatically take it personally or invent motives that don't exist. If someone says something upsetting, don't immediately jump to conclusions. Instead, hit pause on your hurt and ask them exactly what they mean. They may be mortified that you interpreted their words the way you did, and be at pains to reassure you of what they intended. Or they may have meant exactly what you thought, but at least you'll react from a place of knowledge. Don't take someone's silence as an answer or sign either. They may have no idea that you're waiting for a response. If you want to know what someone's feeling, be brave enough to ask. It is all too easy to be misunderstood, and if you assume the wrong thing and respond angrily, frostily, or with silence, they may get the wrong idea too, with things quickly spiraling out of control. Be patient. Not everything is about you. Don't assume someone is acting in response to you or your actions. They may be completely oblivious to you, wrapped up in their own concerns, perhaps even something you could help them with. If you take the time to ask rather than imagining it's your fault, they're upset and spinning off. No. And spinning off to a catastrophizing conclusion. Don't guess how people will react either, or assume that what you find unacceptable will be a deal breaker for others. Gently let people know the behaviors and actions that are non-negotiable for you so that they understand what you expect and ask for theirs. Your lists will rarely match, and it can be illuminating to realize just how differently you see the world. It will also save a lot of heartache to be upfront. Call on Calliope. Foremost, oh, I didn't show you the card. Foremost, the Greek muses, I'm probably mispronouncing all of this, and known as the goddess of clear communication for help in getting what you mean across, expressing yourself well, and avoiding confusion and miscommunication. Calliope, whose name means beautiful voiced, is in charge of writing music, song, and dance, is the patron of epic poetry, the source of inspiration to writers and poets, and the deity who assisted humans to express what is in their heart with truth and eloquence, a quality you can channel today. Affirmations. I will ask for clarity instead of assuming. I express my own needs clearly and explain my actions and motives. I acknowledge that not everything is about me. I value clear communication in others as well as myself. I release the burdens that are not mine to carry. All right. I also want to take that butterfly card. Oh, it's gone. Oh, well. It'll come back. Let's get another one. Celebrate it all. So again, this is something that we can do. We can take on other people's actions and think that we had something to do with it. Like if somebody is silent, we can think, oh, they must not want to talk to me. Or if someone's having a bad day and they're short with you, you could feel like, what did I do wrong? And you know, again, that's kind of developed in childhood. Everything we've been talking about. Celebrate it all. To stay inspired, honor the small victories along the path to your objective and celebrate each one. Celebrating yourself and your achievements is an affirmation that will boost your mood and your productivity, helping you face obstacles and keep going, and lighting up the reward center of your brain. So celebrate the small accomplishments. Like, for example, that first card talked about having a to-do list that was very long. So instead of looking at the list and thinking, oh my gosh, I've barely crossed anything off that list, celebrate the one thing that you crossed off. When you're working towards a goal, it's easy to become so focused on the destination that you lose sight of the journey, but you'll miss out on so much if you overlook each phase from the... Did I read that right? You'll miss out on so much if you overlook each phase, from the lesson offered in the frustrating moments to the simple joys and sense of achievement in each stage of progress. So pause, sit a while, breathe, take stock. Instead of focusing only on how far you still have to go, celebrate what you've already accomplished and how far you've already come. There are so many small victories on the journey to attaining a goal. Yet they're often overlooked, not judged significant enough to celebrate. But appreciating each success, no matter its size, is marking it in some way. And marking it in some way gives you an emotional boost and helps you keep going. It will remind you why you're working so hard to achieve your dream. And the energy of each small win will encourage you and propel you forward with renewed vigor. That's what they do in AA, right? It's not about, oh my gosh, I have to be sober forever. It's take it one day at a time, and then 30 days you get a chip. 1 month you get a chip. We should come up with healing chips. This means more than just stopping to smell the roses. It's cultivating an attitude that allows you to invest your whole journey with importance and thus your whole life, signaling to your spirit that each small bit of progress is valuable and firing you up with enthusiasm and passion to continue. Rewarding yourself provides motivation and refocuses energy. In an era where attention spans are short and long-term goals seem too hard and too far away to bother with, the dopamine hit of many smaller successes will keep you engaged. Mark each win on a calendar, start a journal to keep track, or celebrate with a small gift or reward, be it a thing, an event, or just time to curl up and read. Something meaningful to you to honor your process and your progress. Celebrate your seeming failures too. They're an important part, helping refine your goal and what you actually want to achieve. Teaching you what doesn't work, developing resilience and determination, and giving you experience and humility. The journey really is as important as the destination. So allow yourself to enjoy every moment of it, the good and bad, the hard and the not so hard, the troubles and the triumphs, as well as the person that each step is helping you become. And once you reach your ultimate goal, have a big celebration. Then leap into your next adventure and start the pilgrimage towards your next dream. It's funny, I was thinking of Lord of the Rings, right? Most of that movie the whole movie is the journey. The whole movie is the journey. Imagine if they rushed that journey. The movie would only be like 10 minutes long, maybe longer because the end is super long, but the journey is part of it. It's kind of what I talk about when it comes to, twin flames, when I'm talking to like in my love readings, when I'm talking to a feminine, not gender, about how the end goal, the end goal is actually inner union with yourself, but there's so many beautiful things that happen along the journey. Affirmations. Each small step towards my goal is valuable. I appreciate the wins achieved as well as the obstacles in my way. I love who I am becoming as I work towards my dream. I honor each part of my journey. I am worthy of celebration and self-belief. So instead of thinking like this could be about a dream, but instead of also thinking how many things you have to heal or how many triggers you still have, every time you realize one, process one, kind of like I did with you, celebrate that. Celebrate that you had the strength to see it. You're worth celebrating. Let's get another one. What is that on this card? Oh, I thought it was a fox, but it's just not, it's not even an animal. We have change can be good. Change is good. Change is uncomfortable though. Growth feels messy. Growth is uncomfortable. Change is uncomfortable. Oh, come on. Oh, that's funny. Listen to your heart, 13. Death, rebirth, strength. Are you going through an ending? Something changing in your life? No is not a bad word. Protect your energy. You can say no if you want. Where do I want to put this? I'll read this one first. It's funny. I said one. Be considerate of others and help where you can, but not at your own expense. Set boundaries when necessary. Say no to things that will deplete you and be as kind to yourself as you are to others. Yes. Burnout is an epidemic, but you have the power to halt it. Set firm boundaries around the behavior you'll accept and protect your energy, time, and emotional strength. It can be challenging at first, so many lingering feelings of obligation and guilt, but you'll strengthen this through practice and by understanding how precious your time is and how finite your emotional resources. Release the depression. Release the pressure to toughen up or grow a thicker skin to deal with difficult situations or people. It's up to others to respect your perimeters. Reinforce your barriers and focus on what you need rather than making other things and people the priority. This is not encouraging you to say no to everything, cut yourself off from others, or be cruel or dismissive. Just set sensible limits and express how you'd like to be treated. It's about self-care, not selfishness, and is vital for emotional and physical well-being. It will also give you more time to do what you're passionate about, be with those you want to be around, and prevent the resentment that can twist into bitterness if you repeatedly do things you don't want to do. Be patient with yourself as you begin setting boundaries. It can take time to unlearn your conditioning and reject the behaviors you've always accepted. Dang straight. You may like to surround yourself with white light or healing energy as a barrier to other people's negativity, or rehearse what you'll say to those you feel pressure to appease. Keep your refusal brief and to the point. You don't need an excuse or explanation, or anyone's permission to honor your needs. Most people would prefer you be honest and horrified to know that you're doing something you don't want to do just because they asked. If someone is upset by you setting boundaries, that's on them. Heard. And says more about their lack of respect for you than anything else. No one is entitled to your undivided attention or acquiescence. You deserve to have your time and energy honored and will be happier and more productive once you insist on it. Make sure you respect other people's boundaries too. Most are quite clear about what they want, so pay attention to what they're saying as well as their physical cues. And I feel something being triggered within me. Call on the Lady of Avalon, a Celtic goddess of transformation who represents the ancient feminine energy of the realm of Avalon and of the earth. She is the fierce protector of her own sovereignty and of yours, and can be worked with to set limits and develop confidence to ensure your needs are met. You can also work with Artemis, the Greek goddess of protection, and the hunt, who will lend you the strength, number 8, to create firm boundaries, say no to people and things that will drain you, and erect barriers for protection from hurt and trouble. Affirmations. No is a complete sentence. My boundaries are strong and clear. I am forthright, frank, and honest in my speech and intentions. No is not a bad word. Saying no to one thing allows me to say yes to something even better. Okay, I'm being a little triggered by this, and I want to explain why. Boundaries. A lot of these archetypes, someone with a lot of childhood wounds can struggle to set boundaries because they don't feel like they're, how can I put this? Because they don't feel, think about the invisible child. They don't feel like they're worthy, or they're afraid of being seen, or they're afraid of speaking their truth. Fear of abandonment, the abandoned child. Fear that if they put up boundaries, they'll be abandoned or rejected. And I always say, if you put up a boundary and that person pushes back against them, then they are not safe to be in your energy because your boundaries are not unreasonable. And why this is triggering me, I just want to talk about it for a second, because again, I'm starting to feel, you know how I talk about feeling Phoenix energy? What's happening to me is every time something is activated within me now, I'm starting to feel like, remember when I said I felt called out by that card and like I feel like I'm on fire. I used to feel that when I was phoenixing out of an energy. Like, I guess that is what's happening. But now I feel it kind of whenever any of these trigger that child within me. I feel like I feel this phoenix energy, even though I'm not phoenixed out of it, if that makes sense. Anyway, it's just interesting. I thought I would explain, like, I'm on fire right now. But I want to mention something about this. I'm going to be vulnerable here for a minute. It's very hard to put up boundaries if you don't know how. And again, it's very hard to put up boundaries if you fear that by putting up boundaries, that person is going to disappear. But we are deserving of healthy boundaries. We're allowed to protect ourselves. Silence is a boundary. Remember that card, silence is powerful. I was a little triggered by a couple of these cards, and I just want to explain why. Because there is nothing wrong with asking what someone meant. Did you mean to sound like that? Is it something I did that caused you to be angry? Whatever. There's nothing wrong with that. A lot of autistic people ask for clarity. But I feel the need from my own personal journey to bring something up with you. And that is, if you were trying to set boundaries, or if someone hurt you in a real way, sometimes those questions can become problematic. I believe it's perfectly fine to ask for clarity, but not in a hurtful way. And I just want to talk about that because, again, I went through a really painful experience where I was constantly questioned when I was trying to find my voice, when I was trying to protect myself, when I was trying to set boundaries. I went through a really painful experience, and I kept getting told, I'm just asking for clarity. But it wasn't just asking for clarity. And when I finally set a healthy boundary, which was clear, I was questioned. It felt like an interrogation. The boundaries were laughed at. I was told they didn't make any sense. And I started questioning myself. I started, like, there was a lot of self-doubt. I would reread my boundaries and I would think, what, like, somebody professional helped me write this boundary and they're saying it's confusing. Like, am I crazy? I just wanted to mention it because if you put up a boundary and somebody starts questioning you like that, it doesn't mean that your boundary is wrong. It doesn't mean that your boundary doesn't make any sense. And I just want to be clear about that because some of these cards, the reason I'm bringing this up is because some of these cards, not some of these, but that one, if you are on the healing journey and you're acting from a very wounded childhood place, sometimes the people around us, how can I put this? The point of this card is to not assume that somebody's emotions or reactions, or it didn't even say reactions, but emotions or silence is about you. I completely agree with that. But part of what I have found is that oh my gosh. Part of what I have found is that healing stepping into your voice, putting up boundaries. If you're around unhealthy people, it can just be harder. Especially if you're dealing with somebody else who is also wounded. So I just want to make sure you're being safe, is my point. Again, that card really triggered me because through my experience, I was met with deflection. I was met with, it was just really messy. And I was told, I'm just asking what you mean. I'm just asking for clarity. And it was more than that. I don't even know why I'm bringing it up. I wanted to say that. And it's okay to say no. Because again, putting up a boundary and then having someone question it and push against it and tell you shouldn't have that boundary, that's not healthy either. Clearly, I'm still healing from that. I mentioned to you guys a video that I made. It's like 2 hours that I was afraid to post. I still haven't posted it. And it has to do with that. So anyway, I felt myself getting triggered, and I just wanted to tell you that no is a boundary. Stop is a boundary. I'm pulling my energy back is a boundary. If it protects you. And boundaries are so important. Boundaries are so important, especially for empaths, especially when you're healing. Because like I said, for me, part of my healing was to be able to heal in a safe space where that wasn't happening. I was trying to heal in a very unsafe place. And it just kind of made it harder. It made it more difficult. It made me question myself more. So if you're like practicing some of these things, just make sure it's with someone safe, is my only point. Someone who's not necessarily acting from their wounds as well. That's my point. What a downer. What a downer. All right, let's continue. Thank you for listening. I'm trying not to apologize. I'm just going to cover that up. All right. Again, you're safe. You're safe here to process with me. But if two people, very unhealed, and you're trying to heal and work on these things with someone very unhealed, it can make it more difficult. And part of my healing has been having a safe environment to heal in. That's my point. Moving on. Moving on. July 13th could be symbolic. When you have an opportunity to walk a new path, embrace it wholeheartedly. There can be incredible gifts in learning new things and great joy in transformation. And whole new worlds can inhabit when you challenge yourself to stretch and grow. All right. It's time to get out of your comfort zone and embrace change. It can be difficult, even threatening, to transform an aspect of your life, find a new dream, or adopt a different viewpoint. and some people may belittle you for doing so. But you've changed is not an insult, it's the highest form of compliment. Don't let anyone place limits on what you can do, believe, or be, and don't do it yourself either. Loving your life and where you are is wonderful, but if you're feeling stuck, miserable, or discontented with any part of it, open yourself up to the possibility of something new and allow yourself to transform. You may be essentially the same person you were as a teenager, might care about the same issues, and have broadly the same morals, but every year, every day, you discover so much more. Sticking doggedly to your adolescent worldview and holding to beliefs that no longer represent you can be harmful. There are some things that you should change your mind about. You learn about yourself and you are influenced and opened up to the world from the people you meet, by reading and studying, by your everyday lived experiences, and by being open to the possibility that other ideas, opinions, and viewpoints are just as valid as yours. You may even realize you've been wrong about some things, and that's good. That is growth and insight and courage. It's drinking from the cauldron of wisdom and integrating all that you learned therein. It's discarding the layers you've been protected by and stepping out of the shelter of your cocoon so that you can blossom into all the beauty and light you can be. Embracing change is a powerful way to honor yourself and your progress, to emerge from the expectations of others and find a unique path, hard-won and all your own. And as you unfurl your butterfly wings and celebrate this, gift others the space to change their minds and their beliefs as well, to work through issues and experiences so they can learn, grow, and develop into the person they are meant to be, discovering what is meant for, or what is true for them too. Now think about it. That just said, and allow others the space. So just because we want to heal doesn't mean the people around us want to heal. Just because we believe in spirituality doesn't mean the people around us want to heal. You need to give them space to figure out what they want. Same with our kids. Affirmations. I value new wisdom and see new knowledge. There's power and joy in transformation. I enthusiastically embrace change. Changing my mind is a strength, not a weakness. I see this ending as a new beginning. Yes. Kind of feels like what I was just talking about. There's a little bit, like I'm feeling a little bit of a connection there. 13, listen to your heart. Froggy in my throat. Blah, blah, blah. Thank you, Mercury. Froggy in my throat. Releasing, cleansing, healing. Yay, Froggy. Oh, listen to your heart. You deserve to be happy and pursue the things that bring you delight. You don't have to wait until you've achieved or earned anything to justify it. Honor the things. Is this Canadian? Hang on. Is this person Canadian? Oh no. Silly me. They use yous in words in other places than Canada. Australia. It's just... Anyway, it doesn't matter. Squirrel. Honor the things that are meaningful to you, that lift your heart and spirits, and make time to do them more often. What is in your heart? What are you longing to do? What do you not want to do? In the busyness of life, it's common to sweep your dreams and desires under the rug and out of sight, vowing to pick them up again one day. But too often, this mythical one day never comes, and the call of the things you yearn for slowly softens and then fades away until you no longer hear it at all. Yet burning within you is the light that makes life meaningful, that can show you the way through darkness when doubt and sorrow encompass you. Keep your spirits up when things feel too hard and give you purpose amongst the humdrum of the day-to-day. If you've lost track of what brings you joy or forgotten how to how to nourish your soul, it's time to find it again and connect with this vital part of yourself. It might be something simple or huge or elaborate. It could be a single idea or many. Don't overthink it. Just recall a time you felt genuine pleasure and commit to revisiting it this week. If there's something you'd like to try, a new hobby, class, or place to explore, do it. Having a fulfilling career you love is wonderful, but if not, use your downtime to pursue what nourishes you. Is there something you're jealous of or about in others? Envy isn't a negative emotion if you use it as a tool to discover what to add to your own life. So true. I used to be jealous of happy people. Coveting what someone else has or does provides important information, revealing what you long for. Be brave enough to acknowledge what's missing, what you've lost sight of, or let go, and make the effort to regain it. There's no time to squander, no justification to wait. Instead, make the most of every precious moment you have while you have it. Turn your dreams into reality and make sure you schedule breaks so that you can relax and re-energize too. You deserve to be happy and fulfilled, to work hard, then enjoy your downtime, to prioritize friendship and love and time with the people you care about, to listen to the deep yearnings of your heart and honor them. Affirmations. I deserve happiness and to pursue it for its own sake. My journey benefits myself as well as everyone I come into contact with. No, my joy. I said journey for a reason. That's interesting. My joy benefits myself as well as everyone I come into contact with. I listen to my heart's yearning and act on it. Being happy is worthwhile for its own sake. I know what lights me up and I do it often. So when something lights you up, you completely lose sense of time. I've told you this. Like you completely lose sense of time. Like yesterday when I did that reading. And today when I'm doing this one. So what lights your soul on fire? What is your dream? And remember, it's not just about envy of others. What we envy in others is probably something we want, but the same can be said about what we admire in others. The things we admire in others are within us. So I just wanted to mention that. And let's get three of these cards. I love this. I love the colors, the moon. I've always been more drawn to like blues and purples. Actually, my favorite color used to be periwinkle blue, which is exactly that color. And it's, I don't know what periwinkles look like, actually. It was from when I was a child on the crayons. Oh, crayons. See things clearly. Green eyes could be symbolic. $36. Psychic abilities. Yeah. Developing your intuition, coming out of denial, acceptance, seeing the truth of the situation. Or refusing to see. A seer sees what's best for everyone, which includes that which does not belong. Interesting. You are being told unequivocally to work with your spiritual sight. It is safe for you to remove any veil or obstacles that you have held over your intuitive abilities. Old wounds held deep in the collective psyche, past life memories, and or current experiences all contribute to the work you do to heal the seer wound. This means that you must really begin to listen to what your intuition is telling you and what your intuitive sight is showing you. A good way to begin to deepen this practice is to remember that you are held by spirit and to ask your spirit guides to assist you in removing any and all blocks that are impacting your intuition. And you know what? As somebody who lacked self-doubt, it's really hard to trust your intuition or to believe that you have it when you're questioning yourself. I believe everybody's born intuitive. And intuition is like a muscle. And again, the more you believe in it, the stronger it becomes. The sand and the never-ending story, I mention it all the time. But yeah, let's get you a card. Call back your power. Devil energy. Interesting. 15, call back your power. A lot of us who need healing, who have these wounds, give away our power boundaries, give away our power to people, places. Boundaries. It's on page 55, positive change. Do you need to put up boundaries with someone? Boundaries, clearing obstacles, decluttering your spaces, energetic, physical, and emotional clearing, magnetic realignment. Call your power back. No. Call back your power from all time and places. You can do this by switching off all your electronic devices. Well, that's not going to work. They're listening to me right now. Don't do it right now. Lighting some candles, meditating for 5 minutes before you begin, and then actively saying, I call back my energy from all time and places for my highest good. Repeat this 3 times at a minimum, or as many times as you feel is necessary. Then remain still to see if any intuitive insights arise. These inner insights are highly illuminating and will show you what you need to see. So some people will say, how do you know what's a download? How do you know what's your intuition? And it's different for different people. Some people have visions. Some people have an inner knowing or a thought, which it feels like a thought, but it's coming from within. I know I'm not making any sense. For me, how can I describe it? Sometimes it's music. Sometimes it's a memory or looks like a memory. And sometimes it's just like an inner knowing. Sticky situations in life, old pains and resentments leave energy traces. And when you call back your power, you call back your energy to return to you whole. Now is the time for this kind of practice. Meditate, clear your energy, and then call back your energetic power. Do this practice as often as necessary, and especially if you feel tired often. Your energy is worth protecting and calling back to you. All right, if anybody's looking for us, we're all going to be calling back our power. Equally, where are you giving your energy to freely? Perhaps to social media, television, or people who don't value you? These things use your energy and result in a lack of lucidity. Your attention is your greatest asset. Don't give it to the things that seek to disempower you rather than empower you. This card also comes to ask you to reflect on your boundaries. Are they healthy and serving you? You can reclaim your power and you will be glad you did. Affirmation. I call back my power from all time and places, and I am whole. Speaking of downloads, I just saw us. Have you ever seen those videos of like people who go into the woods? Witchy people? For some reason, I just had this vision of us all like, not cult-like, not a cult, but like in a circle in the woods. I call back my power. Anyway, maybe someday. Let's get 2 more for you. Actually, I'm going to get 1 more and then I'm going to do something. Dream your true north. 27. Aren't these cards pretty? Woof woof, bark bark. 27. Authenticity, dreamweaver, spiritual power, finding your true north, soul purpose, trusting yourself, alignment, then action. Beautiful. Some of you have a dream. You know, do you guys know that social media sound? Have you ever had a dream? You know, that's how I feel like I sound sometimes. This situation requires that you return to your true self, embody your authenticity, and from that centered place, begin visioning your next right step or any changes that you need to make. It may be helpful at this time to simply step back in order to really get clear on how you feel, what your values and beliefs are, and what you would like to experience next before taking any action. Rather, you spend 5 days or even a month deliberating this intentionally than spending a year of your life being on a misaligned path. Alignment is when your heart and vision unite into one. Through this union, you experience life and all its stages from an unshakable place of internal congruency. This doesn't mean that there won't be any ups and downs, but it does mean that you will feel deeply connected to the truth of who you are while you are on the journey of forward movement. Like a seer who peers into the vast cosmos in order to see their place in the world, you too must ask, where does my heart belong? The answer that arises may not be about a place, a person. It may not even answer what you've asked. Rather, it may be about your soul purpose, the reason for any similar or repetitive situations, the opportunity to explore a new calling. Remember that no one can make this decision for you, as you are being called to step into your spiritual power, and with that, you are required to choose. This is a powerful time of awakening. How can you honor your soul path? That's your reflection. How can you honor your soul path? There's also a little nice nugget in there about how if your heart and your truth aren't aligned, it means there's a misalignment there, which I find interesting. All right, before I get 1 more card, I'm going to read to you the shame wounded child, because I was flipping through them before I started this reading. I kind of wanted to read just 1 for you. So I'm going to go with this one. This is an identity archetype. Identity archetype. Who did I become in order to survive? The shame-wounded child. Something must be wrong with me. That experience that I was telling you about, that's what I thought. Something must be wrong with me. Anyway, how it shows up. Woof. This part often shows up as self-doubt, not because something is actually wrong with you, but because part of you expects to eventually be rejected. You may notice things like replaying conversations after they happen, fearing rejection after vulnerability, assuming others will eventually see your flaws, apologizing often, apologizing often even when unnecessary. Yes, stop apologizing. I'm getting really good at not apologizing. You can too. Stop apologizing for existing, right? Or sharing, or having feelings, or, you know what? I wonder, do people who over apologize, I'm just wondering, because I think about these things, the mirror. Do people who over apologize attract people who have a fear of taking accountability? I'm going to have to look into that. Anyway. Struggling to accept compliments. Triggered. Feeling unworthy of consistent love. So you keep giving to inconsistent energy. If they really knew me, they wouldn't stay. I need to be better. I shouldn't feel this way. Closeness can feel desired and dangerous because intimacy increases visibility. Remember, attachment archetype. Anyway, the invisible child. I think it's an attachment archetype, or is it one of these? Oh no, it's an identity archetype. So these archetypes, you can show up these ways in different connections. You can show up one way at work, one way in a friendship, one way in your family, one way in love, one way with yourself. Where was I? You may soften your opinions, hide your needs, shape yourself around others to maintain acceptance. The shame-wounded child protects connection by minimizing the self. What this archetype is, the shame-wounded child forms when painful experiences become internalized, not as events that happened, but as evidence about who the child is. Instead of thinking, something hurt me, that child, what was I talking about? That child concludes, something is wrong with me. Shame is different from guilt. Guilt says, I made a mistake. Shame says, I am the mistake. This archetype develops, I said architect, which is another archetype, but anyway. This archetype develops when emotional pain is repeatedly met with criticism, misunderstanding, dismissal, or lack of repair. Guys, that's exactly what I was talking about earlier. That's exactly what I was talking about earlier. That's exactly what I was talking about earlier. The nervous system searches for meaning, and without safe explanation, it turns inward. The child learns to locate the cause of disconnection within themselves. The shame-wounded child survives through self-correction. Where other parts ask, why did this happen? This part quietly asks, what is wrong with me? Shame becomes an attempt to belong. How it forms. This archetype often forms in environments where emotional expression or individuality is met with disapproval, either subtle or direct. Caregivers or environments may have been critical or perfectionistic, emotionally invalidating. Oh my gosh. It's weird that I chose this one and then I pulled these two cards and had that reaction. Emotionally invalidating, unpredictable in approval or affection, dismissive of vulnerability, shaming around emotions, needs, or identity, comparing the child to others or comparing you to someone else, withdrawing warmth after mistakes. Sometimes shame forms through misunderstanding rather than intentional harm. A child senses disconnection but cannot yet understand adult behavior. And think about it. When we're acting from this wounded place, this identity archetype, the child, we are not acting from our adult self. It's like we're that child. Anyway, where was I? Like a child senses disconnection but cannot yet understand adult behavior. That goes if you're an adult dealing with another adult too, but you're acting from that child place. Without the repair, the nervous system concludes, I am too much, I am not enough. If I were different, I would be loved. Children naturally personalize experiences, so when emotional pain repeats, identity begins shaping around perceived inadequacy. The child begins monitoring themselves constantly, adjusting behavior, hiding authentic reactions, striving for approval, avoiding perceived flaws. Shame becomes internal supervision. The child survives by editing themselves. When it is in shadow, shame becomes self-abandonment. You may criticize yourself before others can. Oh my gosh. You may tolerate mistreatment because part of you because part of you believes you deserve less. You might notice, I'm just over here being activated. What about you? How you doing? You might notice patterns like harsh internal self-talk, check, intense fear of mistakes, avoiding opportunities because of self-doubt, remaining in relationships that reinforce inadequacy, constant comparison to others, perfectionism or paralysis. There's often a quiet belief underneath, I must improve before I am lovable. No, no. You're lovable as you are right now with all of your wounds and your shadows. You're perfectly lovable right now. You've just been asking the wrong people to love you. The nervous system attempts safety through self-correction, but the result is chronic insecurity. The wound here is not imperfection. It is believing imperfection removes worth. No. What did I say yesterday? Again, that was a channel download. Your imperfections are what make you beautiful. When in light, the shame-wounded child becomes profound self-awareness and compassion. Yeah! You begin realizing that shame was learned, not inherent. Identity separates from past emotional experiences. Not yet. Not yet. In this state, mistakes become information instead of identity. Vulnerability becomes survivable. Authenticity replaces performance. Self-compassion softens internal criticism. Belonging becomes possible without self-erasure. Erasure? Is that how you say that? You begin trusting that connection can include imperfection. The shame-wounded child does not disappear. It learns it was never broken. That's hilarious. That's very interesting because I actually named my book before I put all this work into it. And the name of it is You Were Never Broken, which I find funny. Not really, but I find that funny. Do you guys want to know what some of my screen names were back in the day? I laugh about it now because I was so unhealed, but Beautifully Broken, Chasing Peace. That should have been an indication for me right there. Chasing Peace. You shouldn't have to chase peace, but anyway. Examples of how this might look. You replay conversations repeatedly, searching for something you said wrong. Oh my God, overanalyzing texts, overanalyzing boundaries. If someone laughs at your boundary, that's not a good sign. Or someone expresses care for you and your first reaction is disbelief. Yeah. Or you hesitate to share opinions because disagreement feels like rejection. You may succeed externally while internally feeling like an imposter waiting to be exposed. Why is that? The shame-wounded child protects belonging by hiding authenticity. Healing invites visibility without fear. When this part is activated, activation often feels like sudden self-criticism or emotional shrinking. You may notice intrusive thoughts about personal flaws, embarrassment that feels bigger than the situation, urges to withdraw after vulnerability. Have you guys ever been vulnerable with someone? Like worked up the courage to be vulnerable, sent the message, and then like threw your phone? Like, I'm not going to look at my phone. I don't want to see the response. Apologizing automatically, feeling exposed or inadequate. Good news, the book doesn't have all my commentary because I like to talk as I process, but that it's really interesting to me that my children have some of this. It's not interesting to me, but our wounds, our trauma is passed down through our DNA, right? So even though my kids have never been like emotionally invalidated or dismissed or whatever else it was talking about, they have these trauma responses. They have these, some of these archetypes for them are in shadow. I told my kid Ellie, who over apologizes, I said, when I get that book, I said, you and I are gonna look at that book together. When shame activates, your nervous system is responding to an old relational danger, not present reality. Do not make identity conclusions in moments of activation. Shame speaks loudly, but it is not always telling the truth. Seeing the truth. Remember that card? How to heal in the moment. Begin by naming what's happening. A shame response is active right now. Shift attention from thoughts to the body. Feel your feet, your breath, your surroundings. Then ask yourself gently, what actually happened? What story am I telling about myself? Practice compassionate interruption. Replace harsh self-talk with neutral language. Remind yourself mistakes do not equal rejection. Share one honest feeling with someone safe. Do you see the key word here? Safe. Someone safe, who you've been able to be vulnerable with in the past in a safe way. Allow, even if it's your cat, allow imperfections to exist without correction. The goal is not eliminating shame, or your dog. Sorry, Millie. The goal is not eliminating shame instantly. The goal is refusing to believe it unquestioningly. You are learning to stand beside yourself instead of against yourself. Long-term healing. Long-term healing involves separating identity from past emotional experiences. This is what we're doing right now. You practice self-compassion repeatedly until the nervous system learns safety does not depend on perfection. Over time, you begin noticing you are allowed to exist without proving worth. And anybody where you have to prove your worth, that's about them, not you. And you shouldn't have to prove your worth. You are allowed to be seen while imperfect. See? That's what I thanked you guys for yesterday. You are allowed to belong as you are. Relationships shift as authenticity grows. You begin choosing environments or relationships that reflect acceptance rather than reinforce self-doubt. The inner critic softens into an inner guide. You do not become flawless, you become whole. Imperfectly perfect, flaws and all. You were never the problem. You were a child trying to understand experiences that felt confusing or painful. Shame once helped you survive by giving chaos an explanation. But you do not need to carry that explanation anymore. You are not too much. You are not enough. You are not required to earn belonging. Healing is not becoming someone new. It is remembering who you were before shame convinced you otherwise. The shame-wounded child does not need fixing. It needs gentleness, and you are learning how to offer it. Journal prompts. When do I notice shame appearing in relationships? What situations trigger the feeling that I am not enough? How do I respond internally when I make a mistake? What would it feel like to allow imperfection without self-criticism? If you don't know what that feels like and you want a hint, it's incredibly freeing. When have I hidden parts of myself to maintain connection? What might self-compassion look like for me today? All right, I'm going to get you one more card. Thank you for listening. One more card. Even though I want to stay here all day. You probably have things to do. Listen, you have some self-care to get to. You have some rest and joy and fulfillment to get to. I can't keep you here all the time. Oh, we got a rainbow. We got a rainbow. 18. So maybe you're afraid right now, but many paths to a brighter future. 18. Maybe you're not seeing that right now. Divine feminine energy, the moon, and healing our shadows. Or, yes, we heal them, but it's more like we befriend them. Open up so many paths to a brighter future. Healthier friendships, healthier careers, work environments, relationships, our relationship with ourselves. Rainbows. 18. 18. Optimism, hope, your future looks bright. Boundaries again. Boundaries again. Communication, helpful choices, and forward movement. Your future looks so very bright. If you are feeling a little overwhelmed or underwhelmed, hold steady as things are lining up beautifully for you. Good news. Everything's gonna be okay. I'm just kidding. But everything will be okay. But I'm not saying that to like dismiss, right? Like sometimes people say that and they're just dismissing. Like you tell them how you're feeling and how overwhelmed you are, and they're just like, everything will be okay. But this healing journey, you'll be all right. Remember that nothing can stop you from flourishing and living a life of magnificent love, abundance, and joy. You simply need to believe and then act. Focus on the path ahead and see yourself already living that life. What would you need to do in order to get to that place? Do you even need to change anything, or do you need to just take it one step at a time without getting overwhelmed about the bigger picture? Are your boundaries working for you, or do they need adjustment? Petition your highest self for more guidance on the matter, or simply pull another card to get more insight on which direction to take. You can also ask for more soulful guidance. Who's bouncing their leg? Who's bouncing their leg? That's not something I do. Who's bouncing their leg? And are any of you eating? Because I just want to know. Also ask for more soulful guidance to come through to you via your nighttime dreams, or you could simply close your eyes, calm your body, and ask your question. Wait, an inner answer will arrive. You know the best way forward. Now trust that you deserve a life that makes you sing, one where the seas are blue and freedom and ease are felt. Go there in your mind if your reality is not quite there yet. Spend time in the vast, expansive space where the sky meets the sea on the soul horizon. Allow your imaginative mind to play with the imagery. From this place, all things are possible. Your future is bright, and so it is, and so it is. Which path is brightest for me? So not which path does my wounded child want me to take? Not which path my ego is telling me to take. What path is the brightest for you, leads to the happiest you, and is healthy for you? Anyway. All right, my beautiful friends, I'm going to go. I need to take care of myself because I've been really neglecting that, and I'm like on the edge of a breakdown. Oh, that's what I wanted to mention. For you guys, channeled song. I got it this morning. Let Go by Frou Frou. Please go listen to it. I mean, you don't have to do anything you don't want to do. I'm not pressuring you. But I was hearing it this morning when I was thinking about you guys. Let me look up the lyrics for you. Millie's trying to sing it, but She's hard to understand. It's from the movie Garden State, if anybody knows that movie. Frou-frou. That's fun to say. All right. Okay. 2002 could be a symbolic year. Let Go by Frou-frou. If you haven't listened to it, it's a lovely song. Drink Up, Baby Down, Are You In or Are You Out? Leave Your Things Behind, 'cause it's all going off without you. Excuse Me, Too Busy, You're Writing Your Tragedy. These mishaps you bubble wrap when you have no idea what you're like. Like, something about this song made me think of healing. And like, these mishaps you bubble wrap, writing your tragedy, it made me think when you've no idea what you're like. Like, it, I know songs to me are like poems, like open to interpretation, so they could mean something completely different. But I get a healing energy from this song. So let go, jump in. What are you waiting for? It's all right, because there's beauty in the breakdown. That's my whole point. There's beauty in the breakdown. Your old self falling away. It's so amazing here. It's all right, because there's beauty in the breakdown. It gains the more it gives, and then it rises with the fall. So hand me that remote. Can't you see that all that stuff's a sideshow? Such boundless pleasure, we've no time for later now. You can't await your own arrival. You've 20 seconds to comply. So let go, jump in. What are you waiting for? It's all right, because there's beauty in the breakdown. And then it just repeats like that. It's so amazing here. There's beauty in the breakdown. Anyway, oh, what's the meaning of it? The power of letting go. The power of letting go. Describes the journey of liberation from a painful or toxic situation. Interesting. I guess I did have the meaning right, but also I see it as letting go of your wounded self. It's so amazing here. Anyway, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go, you guys. One of these days, I'm gonna read to you the integrated archetypes so that you can see how good it's gonna get. But I love you. Nobody screaming what the fuck tonight. I love you, and thank you for being a safe space for me, and you're safe here. And I love you, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.